everyone, welcome back. So today is a very exciting video because we are going to be having our first ride on Barry. So I've been preparing Barry for quite a while now for this. Every day since about maybe a week after I got her and she was settled in, I have lunged her. I've done free lunging, lunged her with tack on, and I've even put horse feed on her back so she gets used to some weight, desensitized her while lunging her. It's been quite a little journey lunging her. I haven't put out many videos lunging her just because it gets boring after a while. But today she's finally, I think, ready for her first ride. She seems pretty chill today, so I'm just going to give it a shot. I have a good feeling about it, though, so let's go ahead and grab her. Alright, so I have Barry right here, all tacked up and ready. So I'm going to give her a quick little lunge before we start the actual ride because that's kind of in our routine now, and I think that's what she thinks we're doing today. So I'm just going to lunge her really gently, real quick, and then we can get on with the ride. Alright, so here I'm just tightening up her girth a little bit, messing around with her sides, just so that it's not just jumping right at her, moving her stirrups a little bit so she gets used to that, just playing with her belly a little bit, playing with her saddle pad a little bit, putting some pressure on, and there you have it. That was my first time ever getting on Barry. She seemed pretty uncomfortable here. As you can see here, she was fidgeting a little bit. So when she was completely still, I gave her a pat and then released the pressure by hopping off. She seemed really good with me mounting and dismounting. She stayed pretty still overall. So I gave her a couple pats here and hopped back on. Gave her a pat. She's very fidgety, and I will say she's very sensitive to your leg. Extremely sensitive, just the slightest bit of pressure, like you can see here. Of course, I do have to adjust my leg pressure on her, but this wasn't even me asking her to go. She just, with the tiniest bit of pressure on my leg, she's very sensitive to it and went into a walk, which is can be good, but can also be bad. You want a responsive horse, but definitely not an overly responsive one. So this was her first ride, so she was very anxious, very uncomfortable. So here she was fidgeting around more. So I just kind of let her do what she did and kind of let her settle down. When she was settled, I just let her stand there for a minute. I wouldn't reward until she was completely still. Again, here she started fidgeting more, but when she was completely still, I gave her a pat and hopped off to release the pressure. Here, I decided to hop back on again. She was doing really good. She was completely still, not fidgeting too much around. So this, I thought, was the perfect time to ask her for a walk. This actually wasn't me asking her for a walk yet, but again, very responsive to my leg. But she did really good in the walk. Here you'll see in a little bit that she has a bit of a spook at a bush, but you'll see that in a minute. Overall, right here, she was handling it really good. Again, she was very sensitive, so she went into a trot there. And here's her little bit of a meltdown spook. So here, I wasn't actually prepared for this at the moment, but she went into a big spook. She didn't buck or rear or anything. She just she just kind of took off around the arena. I was kind of surprised because this is an open arena, so she could have just went out, but she stayed in the arena, just kind of ran around a bit. I stayed on her, circled her around, got her to slow down a bit. But overall, I think she handled it quite a bit, but it was kind of funny because when I lunge her, she is perfectly fine around bushes and stuff. But again, this is her first time ever having anyone on her back and her being ridden, so I wasn't too surprised that this happened. I was expecting, I guess, a spook or something like that to happen on the ride, but I calmed her down quite a bit, got her to circle around a bit, and eventually I stopped and just kind of sat there for a minute, got her settled down, gave her some pats, let her know that I was okay. Again, my body, I think, didn't really help because my reaction to that, I wasn't prepared for that, so I guess, squeezed my legs around her, which gave her the cue again to go faster and faster. But once I was calm, she calmed down for sure, and I think overall she handled it pretty well. So here I'm making her face her fears of the evil bush and making her just go up to it at her own pace, just asked her for a little bit of a walk. So she just went up to it, had a little bit of a look. I gave her a pat, letting her know that's okay. And overall, she seemed pretty calm with it, which is kind of funny because she just had the biggest spook ever. Here, I don't think it was the bush that she was uncomfortable with. It was more the fence. She didn't want to be brought right into it. But the bush itself, she didn't have a problem with. So I gave her a pat, and she was a very good girl. It's kind of funny because she just had the most dramatic bolt ever, and here she's just completely calm with the bush. So that's kind of funny. So I dismounted. It was quite a ride today. Some people, let me just clarify this. Some people were a bit confused of why Barry's just now being ridden and stuff. Some people think it's better to do it earlier. Some people think it's better to do it later. But that's just, some people do it like way earlier. I know, and some people do it way later, but this is just the kind of age that Jorvik Stables gives them out, and it's just kind of the age that she was giving to me to handle. Jorvik Stables tends to do it around this age, but of course she was sold to me, so I have the responsibility of doing this. So just to clarify that. She did overall really good. I'm very proud of her. We're going to be working on it quite a bit, desensitizing her to quite a few things. So stay tuned for that. But I'm very proud of her, and I need to untack her now. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.